Hello and welcome to Library TV. Today we have a special guest with us. In the Second World War, many people were killed and made hopeless, and yet there was one girl who refused to give up her hope. Let's welcome the legendary girl who survived through the war with just the help of books, Liesl.
I'm so glad to be in this show.
Now I've got a couple of questions about your past. How was the war? What do you feel at that time?
I was just 9 years old when war was happening. I had a little brother who unfortunately died when we were heading to the foster home. At that time I was grievous, but I know I have to move on, so I followed my foster parents to escape to an air raid shelter, as many others. At that time in the World War II, gunshot can be often heard and people were startled, including my family. There ain't no food left and we live in hunger every day. One day, my parents went out for scavenging for food, and luckily they died in an explosion on their way. I was in tears and full of grief. I don't know how many tears and how many days did I cry, but just like now, I can't control myself.
I'm so sorry to hear about that, but I do hope you're feeling better. Just remember, there are people who care and support you.
Yeah, I will. I've already moved on.
But what motivates you? What is it that gives you hope despite all the deaths and tragedies?
Books. I found a book called Graveyard Digger's Handbook at my brother's funeral. I was fascinated by the content, and so I continued to read and learn along the way. Until I thought it wasn't enough and started stealing books. Reading restored my hope and faith in humanity.
Glad to hear that. About the book, what did you do with it afterwards?
I shared them with other survivors and tried to get their hope up. At first they were so curious, but quickly they fall in love with reading like me. I'm so glad that I could help others with the power of reading.
Wow, sounds like reading really can bring people power. We'll talk about Liesl's life in more than right after the advertisements. Stay tuned!